Ooh, it's a beautiful sight. Love violins. I just love everything about them. I find so much joy in admiring the beauty of these things along with playing at my level. I don't need to play Paganini caprices or, you know, play like Kenny Baker to enjoy it. I'd like to, and it's a goal of mine to get better every time I play, but I just enjoy them. I also enjoy the oldness. These are both old violins. This one, love that flame bag. That's my Saxony. And then this is the Frenchie, which I am expecting any day now from England, the UK. That carved boxwood tailpiece. It's kind of quasi, um, kind of like the Lady Blunt Stradivarius. But we shall see. I guess on a level of 0 to 10 as far as being a violin snob, unfortunately I am kind of snobby. I appreciate modern pack rim instruments. I like the sound. If they sound good, if they're pretty violins, but I like the old ones. But I would say I'm kind of on a scale of 0 to 10, probably a 2 as far as being a snob. Before I talk about my bow project, I have to say that I steered you toward the Violin Lounge yesterday. I like that is a good forum. Of course, you get the people that want to be the top dog in the forum, and those are on a scale of 0 to 10 violin snobs, 11s. They're out there, but there's generally speaking a good group of people on there. The one that really kind of irks me in a way and just turns me off to ever being a part of it. I'm not on any forums. I wind up getting a little argumentative because I don't like the bullies out there, the real serious snobs. MaestroNet, oh my gosh. Oh, I have to say, there's some horrible human beings on that thing. I mean, they bring snobbery to a whole new level. And trying to be better than everyone else, it's just, I don't know. But anyway, my project here. Look at that. It's got now a reasonable bend to it. This is that old violin bow, and I was talking about, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to make a bending form out of probably 3/4 board, and then have like a clampy system for the tip and maintaining, so it's not twisted or anything, and a nice routed channel down it for getting the proper bend in it. But I just said heck with it, and I'm close. It still needs to have a little bit more bend to add some stiffness to it. Got pretty darn close by just rubbing a little tallow on here and over my electric range, heating it up. Like, I've made a lot of arrow shafts in my time. If you didn't watch my other channel, John J. Riggs Archery, I'm mostly a bow and arrow guy, but I've made a lot of arrow shafts, and so I just heated this thing up, put some tallow, grease on it over my electric range, got it hot, and then just, by putting that bend in it and then holding it till it cools. Basically, it worked. I could have done that and not worrying about a jig, but it worked. Now the heat did make the varnish. I'm sure this is spirit varnish on this. This is an old bow, and I'm 99.9% sure that it is Pernambuco, a good quality bow, and it feels good. I've actually played it, and it's got a nice balance. It's got a nice feeling. I do need to add a little bit more bend into it, but it's got a great stiffness. It's a nice bow. And this is actually a horn right there. It's got a chip on it. I might make a new horn for it. I've got black horn. I don't have white, but black horn might be kind of cool. And I'm going to rehair it. This is ancient hair. It's full, and it works. Full meaning that a bunch hasn't broken off. It's pretty good shape. But yeah, it needs to be rehaired. It's a little on the slippery side, even though it's rosined for my taste. You have to push it a little harder than necessary, to get the sound. But it's a nice bow. And using rubbing compound, look at that. The silver on the frog, and good quality abalone, or mother of pearl, I'll say abalone, on the eyes. It's a really nice frog. This right here, though, that screw baffles me. They had drilled through it. See that little silver thing right there? That's actually a nail that goes all the way through, and then they just hammered it. I may or may not keep that. I've never seen a black one before. It just baffles me. It's two-piece. The screw itself, I can feel it wobbling there, held on by that nail. I may or may not replace that. I appreciate the way it was. I'm going to assume this might be original. I might just do something different besides that nail there. That's kind of janky. But yeah, it's a nice ball. It really is. And so how I'm going to finish this off, first of all, I'm going to add a little bit more bend there with a jig. I want to get it perfect. This might be my forever bow. I don't know. It might turn out to be my favorite bow. It's nice. I should weigh it. Offhand, it feels similar to this good quality bow. Now you have different wrappings on the grip. This is, I don't believe it's real whalebone. It might. And actually whalebone is the baleen. It's not bones from whales. It's baleen. But this is old enough that this might actually be real whalebone. You can still buy it, but I don't like the whole idea of whaling, so I'm not going to use the real stuff. You can go and you can buy fake stuff. In this bow, we'll have not silver wrap, but the artificial whalebone. I need to buy some. And I actually found a video on how to do that. It's by a woman, violinist I'm assuming, that made one single video on how to do the whaleboning. I should just keep holding these things up. And I'm going to put the link to that video on this video so you can see how absolutely doable it is. Now, I kind of lost my train of thought. The heating kind of goofed up the varnish a little bit, but this is a trick. This is a trick. Is that you put some alcohol on a clean rag. I used a paper towel, a good quality paper towel, alcohol, and just did a quick wipe of it. If I was to take that alcohol rag and go over and over and over again, it would destroy the varnish because varnish is very susceptible to melting with alcohol. So I did it very fast. A fast wipe. And it actually restored the varnish on the bow because this varnish was so old it kind of cracked, kind of chipped off in spots. But taking that rag, paper towel with the alcohol on it, picked up some of the varnish, melted it, in a fast swipe, rehabbed the varnish on this ball. Whoa, that's a handy tip. But yeah, that's about it. You can even get into some research of horsehair. What is the best horsehair? You know, is it from a stallion, a male horse, or is it from a mare, a female horse? Is it from Canada? Is it from Mongolia? Is it from China? You know, you could say, they say Mongolian, and if you do your research, Mongolian horsehair from a male horse is, some people say, the best. If you are a soloist, you get hair from a male horse. If you're not so much, a female horse is okay. Mongolian horsehair is supposedly more elastic, just as strong as Canadian horsehair, but a little more elastic, a little bit thicker. So, talk about a rabbit hole. But yep, this is really turning out to be a nice bow. As a matter of trivia, it came with this violin. It was offered as a stunning Richard Garris violin, you know, made in 1906. With an almost playable bow, and this thing was ugly. That silver wrap was so tarnished and it was broken and peeling off in spots, and the leather was all worn away. It was an ugly bow, and it had an ugly bend in it. It was almost straight, as if somebody had it tightened and then just put it in the case for 100 years. But yeah, a little bit of fiddle work, this diamond in the rough. I didn't just snap it like a TikTok video maker would have done. I looked at it, appreciated it, and said, I'm going to try to rehab that. It's working out like a charm. I really like this bow. And it goes from hexagonal to round, which is also a neat feature. This fake W.E. Hill bow, which is really nice, is fully hexagonal. They say octagonal, but it's really hexagonal. My Klaus Becker bow is round. It's a great bow, but I just like the hexagon. And what's really cool about that is how it transitions from hexagonal to round. So somebody took their time making it. Eyes to Wiz. IZDAWIZ. The YouTube seller. He's got some really cool violins for sale currently. Eyes to Wiz. If you want to see some eye candy, go to his eBay store. I'm wondering if he's even on MaestroNet. But that is all. Thank you for watching. Have a good one.